Okay. Here we're going to talk about the ethers. It is the part of the chapter named as alcohol, phenols and ether. This is the last part. We're going to talk about this. When we talk about the ether, we should know the function group, that how the representation is like R, O, R. It is a function group. So it's like two alkyl groups attached to the oxygen. When we talk about the ethers, it should be remember in mind that when we talk about the ethers is nothing but the organic compound in which two alkyl groups are attached to oxygen atom. Ether is nothing but what? Organic compound in which two alkyl groups are attached to the oxygen atom. When I talk about the derivative, it is derivative of the alcohol. Okay, you must know about that. ROH is alcohol. If suppose this H is removed by this alkyl group, you will get the ether. So it is talk about that in case the ether is the mono alkylating derivative of alcohol. So ether is what? Monoalkylating derivative of the alcohol. General formula, when you talk about the general formula of the ether, you have to write that CnH2n plus 2O. This is the general formula of the ether. We know about the function groups R O R. Let's study about this oxygen atom, which is bonded by or surrounded by two alkyl groups. When you talk about the oxygen atom, it is a divalent in this and attached two alkyl groups, so it is a center. Okay, this oxygen is sp3 hybridized molecule and the angle between this is 110 degree. Okay, how it represented here? Suppose R group is attached O and this R is group, so angle between is what? 110 degree, and this oxygen is what? sp3 hybridized. So this is the introduction about the ether. Okay, now let's talk about the preparation method of the ethers. In case of preparation of the ether, the first method is by addition of alcohol to the alkene. So what is alkene? Carbon carbon double bond should be there, and alcohol ROH should be there. So what we are adding? We are adding alcohol to the alkene. We should must know about this. This process or this method is catalyzed by acid. Which acid? Predominantly it will be H2SO4. Okay, so that is the condition. Okay, and we know that catalyst regenerate at the end. So now addition of alcohol to the alkene. So what we are going to add first? Your alkene. Let's take example of CH2 double bond CH2. This is your ethene molecule. When is added catalyst, so it is acid catalyst, so I'll take H2SO4, or you can write simply H plus above the arrow, and alcohol, which is very important. If I add here CH3OH, okay, so what is the product? See, mechanism I'm going to talk about, but how can you predict the product of this? Like suppose this is alcohol. In case of the acid catalyst, it's breakdown like this. So this H is going to shift on this carbon, and this remaining group is attached to the second carbon. So let's study here CH2. This is your the first compound. So what is going to happen? This hydrogen is get shifted to this, so like it will become, this bond is going to break off, so it will become CH3, and this now in alcohol it's what split into two parts. So one part is hydrogen which is attached here, second part is your OCH3 is going to attach here. Okay, in simple manner we can write this as a C2H5. So we will go to the product, one side CH3, one side C2H5. So we get the ether. What is the name of this ether? Is that ethyl methyl ether. Okay, so this will be ethyl methyl ether. This is the product which can be correct. This is the first example. Second example, This is a simple alkene we take. Let's consider this alkene. CH3, CH3, double bond, CH2. It will be acid catalyst, and instead of first alcohol I'm adding this. So how can you predict this? Okay, break down into the two parts. CH2 will get H, and the one remaining part is attached here. So like C, CH3, CH3, CH3. I can write here CH3 and O, C2H5. This is your product. So now how it actually happened, that is called the mechanism. In the mechanism, you have to understand that this method or this process, there is a formation of the intermediate. So what is the intermediate? The carbocation is intermediate over here. Okay, who is carbocation? Okay, so we should know that what is the carbocation. Okay, so now then carbocation stability lies between this tertiary, secondary and primary. We should know this. So there is a primary alcohol, it will be start towards the tertiary alcohol. If there is a requirement is there, then it's going to shift. So as the word shift here, so in mechanism it may or may not be include 1, 2 hydride or methyl shifts. Okay, let's consider this example. We're going to take this only example, CH2 double bond CH2. In this case, this is alkene. Okay, so now it is an acid catalyst. We have to discuss here acid catalyst. So what going to happen is this: when H plus is going to attack over here or arrange, it will be attached to here. So what will be formation? CH3 CH2. It will be containing positive charge, and this is called your carbocation. Which is carbocation? This is the primary carbocation. Now here is a mention primary, secondary, and tertiary. Who is the more stable? Tertiary. But here there is no scope to form a tertiary carbocation because it's not attached to the much more carbon. So like here in this case, it will be stuck here and primary only. So there will be no hydride or methyl shift formation over here. We're going to study in detail in the next few examples. Okay, so this is the carbocation. Now this is CH3CH2 having a positive charge, that is a primary carbocation. Now what we have to add is that we have to add the alcohol. So here I am going to represent alcohol as like ROH. So what is the formation here? This having a lone pair of electrons, so it acts like a nucleophile. So nucleophile attack on this carbocation, it's going to form CH3CH2OR, and this hydrogen will be here. So now as I mentioned, it is an acid catalyst. It's catalyzed by the acid, so hydrogen should be removed from there. So minus H. So what is the product? CH3. CH3CH2 I can write C2H5. Your oxygen is here, and this R, that is alkyl group, is here. So your ether is generated at end of this. So what is the mechanism? First step, H plus attack on the alkene, formation of carbocation. Then nucleophile, which is your alcohol, attack on your carbocation, leads to formation of the ether. So this is the mechanisms of ethers, formation of what? Addition of alcohol to your alkene. So okay, now take a look on 1,2 hydride shift. So here I am going to talk about the example of the 1,2 hydride shift. This is your alkene. Okay, now this is your alkene. We are going to add H plus over here. So now this H plus is going to attack here. So it will become, this bond will be removed off, and there will be charge on this carbon. Okay, so let's study out this. Draw the structure CH3. This will remain as it is, this also remain as it is. So alkene is here, so this bond, two bonds are getting broken off. So one bond is here, one bond is here. So this carbon and this carbon is going to affect. So CH and CH3. This hydrogen is taken up by this, so it will become CH3 having a positive charge here. So this is which carbocation right now is attached to the 2 carbons. So it is a secondary carbocation. But now we know that, see, now here is the scope. In earlier example, there is no scope because it's not attached to another carbon. So here is in this example, there is a scope from secondary, it can jump to the tertiary. And how it can be occur? Let's study here. This H plus is here, this H is here. So this I can draw like this. This hydrogen is going to shift here. This positive charge shift over here. So there will be the formation of CH3, CH3, positive charge go here, CH. Now this hydrogen is shift here, it will be CH2 and CH3 will be here. So now there is a formation of the tertiary carbo. There is a formation of tertiary carbocation. This is a tertiary carbocation. Now see. Now there is a acid part is remain. Second part is what? Addition of the alcohol. So which I going to addition of the alcohol? See here, if I add C2H5OH, so product will be here. See, this is a nucleophile attack on this, so it will be your carbon CH3 as it is. This is a carbocation, so this part is going to attack over here, so it will become O C2H5, and this part remain as it is CH2CH. So we have studied here the example of the 1,2 hydride shift. If there is a scope, only then this rule must be followed. Okay, let's talk about the second method. The second method include Williamson ether synthesis. In this method, what you have to understand is that potassium or sodium alkoxides are heated with alkyl halide. In this Williams synthesis, potassium or sodium alkoxide. What is alkoxide? Let's study here. If I write ROH, this is your alcohol. If I have written as RONA, it will be sodium alkoxide. If I have written RO, okay, it will be potassium what? Alkoxide. Okay, let's study in this case what is the what is the process. Potassium sodium alkoxide are heated. So in this case, RO minus, see, it is a salt, sodium and potassium, so it can be dissolved, so there will be a negative charge arises on this. So this is will be your nucleophile. What is that? Alkox. What is that? Next one, alkyl halide is there. So alkyl halide is what? Rx should be there. So now whenever they heat it up, they will follow the SN2 mechanism. What is the SN2 mechanism? See that RO minus dot having Rx. Correct. This bond is going to lose and this is going to happen. So this has a partially negative charge, this has a partially positive charge over here. So now this follows which mechanism? SN2 mechanisms, which is followed by this reaction. And what will the product? This is a strong one, so it will be RO. See, I'm writing R dash here. Okay, and your X, that is halide, can be removed off. This process is used majorly for the mixed ethers. So by this method, you can form a mixed ether. Let's take example first, CH3ONA reacting with C2H5Br. Ethyl bromide reacting with the sodium methoxide. So what will the formation here? This is the removed part. This is going to shift here. This is already removed. It will be CH3O C2H5. So what is the advantage of the Williams synthesis? We can form a mixed ethers. This is the best advantage of this method. Okay, mechanism we're going to talk about later on. So CH3ONA, the Br is a leaving group over here, so like it's going to shift from here to there, and that is a formation of this ether, which is a mixed ether. Okay, let's talk about the mechanism of the Williams synthesis. We will talk about the mechanism. Okay, study the mechanism by the given example is like CH3ONA is reacting with the C2H5Br. You must know what will the product is like. CH3O C2H5. This is a product, right? So now, first step in mechanism is what? Not it, I'm giving you stepwise mechanism here. So in this case, CH3O, this is sodium salt, so it can be removed. So this will become CH3O, having a negative charge over here. Then, if it's going to attack on C2H5Br, Br is a good living group, right? It's a minus ion charge. So what's going to happen in these groups? The halides are basically good living groups. So that's why this mechanism includes the SN2 mechanism, correct? So now what's going to happen? This is act like a nucleophile which is going to attack on here. So Br is a living group. So what will the product is formed? CH3O is going to attack on this C2H5. C2H5 plus Br minus. So this is a living group, so it's removed. So this is a simple mechanism of the Williamson synthesis. Here, what is the advantage? You must study that it is a mixed ether form. Why mixed ether form? Because the halide is your best living group. So we can use any halide to attack on. I mean, like nucleophile can attack on the alkyl halide. So we can choose here number of the alkyne to get incorporated here. So we get a mixed type of ether. In Williams synthesis, we have to consider one note. Let's study by the example first. If I'm right, see, this is your alkoxide, this is your alkyl halide. In this case, what is going to happen? If this is a tertiary alkoxide and this is a primary alkyl halide, when they combine, the product will be, you must know, CH3. CH3 will be here. This is CH3 here. And this is ONA, which is act like a nucleophile, which is attack on this. So O C2H5 product is there. Okay, so your ether must be like this. But in case, suppose your alkyl halide is tertiary and your alkoxide ion is a primary, so there is a major difference. You will not get this product. You will get product like this: CH3, CH3, double bond, CH2. Why such a difference? Because this product is, I mean, this process is governed by the substitution method. But this process, whenever there is a tertiary, that is a tertiary alkyl halide and primary your sodium alkoxide is there, this process is governed by your elimination process. So we have to always remember one thing. Whenever there is a Williams synthesis processes, if you want a better yield, then your alkyl halide must be primary and your alkoxide ion, that is just maybe sodium or potassium, it can be secondary or tertiary. Only you can get then the better yield. So here we have to consider this note. So in Williams synthesis, for the better yield, your alkyl halide should be primary, alkoxide ion can be secondary or the tertiary. Okay, let's move on the other method of the preparation of the ether. In this case, third method, in which we have to study that. See, earlier we studied that Williams synthesis where we use the halides and alkoxide ion. So here some little modifications are there. In this case, methyl or ethyl sulfate can be used instead of the halide. Instead of the halide, we can use methyl or ethyl sulfates. Let's have a look over here. This is your sulfate. So I can talk here as a substrate because this is your nucleophile. This is your nucleophile going to attack on here. So see, instead of C2H5O, I can write minus. H can be removed. It can become nucleophile. This nucleophile can attack on this. In this case, this CH3 is taken up by the nucleophile and this acts like a leaving group. So what we are getting is that nucleophile, that is C2H5, that is here, O minus is attack on here CH3. So CH3 is taken up by this group. So you will get your ether here and the leaving group is like this one. So it will be CH3O SO3 minus. So this is a substrate, right? This is a sulfate actually, but we are using the sulfate here. So now in the fourth case, we are using esters of the toluene parasulfonic acid. So here this is this group we are talking about. Paratoluene sulfur. This is a paratoluene sulfonic acid is here, which act on this nothing but your nucleophile. So nucleophile attack on this R dash taken up by this. So you will get your ether over here, and the leaving group will be this. In this case, leaving group was CH3 attached. In this case, the paratoluene is attached. So these are the comparable third and fourth method of the preparation of the ether. We are using the sulfate as a substrate molecule, which serve as a providing the alkyl group here, and in this case here is group. So these two methods are also included in preparation of the ethers. In case of the Williams synthesis, there was a one limitation, that is tertiary alkyl halide is not usable. But we are going to discuss one method in which we can utilize this tertiary alkyl halide. So what is the process known as that? In that process, what is going to happen is that we have to use your alkyl halide should be a tertiary along with alcohol. We are going to use that, and the additional substrate can be used. A catalyst will be Ag2O. So additional catalyst is what? Silver oxide should be there. Then only you will get your C. This R dash I can remember. So R O R dash, your ether can be generated. Two molecules of alcohol should be there. So this is also two molecules having 2 AgX along with 2 water molecules. This is the general format. Now let's take example. If I am using alcohol CH3 CH2OH, your ethanol I am using along with tertiary alkyl I am taking like this. Okay, so tertiary alkyl I am taking like this along with Ag2O. We have to consider that this must be two molecules, this must be two molecules. Then the product will be like this. Is the removed group. So this Br is the leaving group, this H is removed off. So this is going to combine in presence of what? Silver oxide. It is called silver oxide. So what is going to happen here is like CH3 nice one carbon attack on this O C2H5. I CH3 CH2 I have written in the C2H5 format along with 2 AgBr and along with 2 water molecule. So this is the general format in which we can use a tertiary alkyl halide for the preparation of your ether, but along with what? Silver oxide. There is another method in which we use a silver oxide, but it should be heating with silver oxide, but it should be a dry. See here we get a mixed ether, but in this case, if I use two molecules of CH3Br along with Ag2O, the reaction proceeds and will lead to formation of two molecules of dimethyl ether along with two molecules of C. This is the leaving group AgBr. So in this method, we can use a tertiary alkyl halide, but silver oxide we have to use. We get a mixed ether, but in case of heating with silver oxide, but it should be a dry. This is more important. This is the dry, and then only can use a similar molecule of the alkyl halide. We get a, see on the both side is the same, so we can see a symmetrical ether we can achieve here. So this is a method in which we get a mixed ether. This is a symmetrical ether along with using of the silver oxide, but in case of dry we are getting this.